monsters at bay.
They sure do. And we're going to get this thing straight underway. I'll throw my prediction out as well. I got to update the scoreboard. Y'all don't get on to me just yet. I think I am also going to predict Seikoo and Extra. They had an incredible performance yesterday. They're in the sweaty car. Seikoo with the endpoint decal on that Finnick. And we all know how much of a monster he is with that. We're going to see how this thing goes. Game number 1, Kash. He's going to strike first for he and RelatingWave.
Lord, look at this. I mean, the quality 50 is one thing, but you have to get off pre-flip and angle your car to get that on target. You almost just Seikoo just shaking their head like, yeah, I'm not getting that. Oh no. Oh no, not off the kickoff. Not like this. Extra. It's getting the easiest follow through of their life. They get a quality goal from Kash, but then nothing more hurtful than having that immediately be canceled out.
Yeah, it happens a lot, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. The 2v2s, excuse me, the kickoffs in 2v2s are a little bit more volatile. Those aggressive cheat-ups like that, it really just favors the team that the ball goes a little bit more towards, because both players, if they're both doing the same strategy of the super aggressive cheat, it's a split-second decision. It depends on where that kickoff kind of falls to. And that time it fell in favor of the BDS squad. Extra going to power one through, and Extra's going to put a second on the board. The BDS team going to go up 2-1.
I really like that shot, not only because it completely takes RelatingWave out of the play, but it also is still also a pass. I think sometimes the best passes are just missed shots at the end of the day, but even still, Extra getting every single bit of that 50. I felt kind of bad. Kash seemed like they had a good read on it, but they just could not get enough pixels on it, so instead they're going to have to mount that comeback trail now as Seikoo, just like a psycho, just going to go immediately that backboard and stomp out that double tap, as also going to stop out that another touch as it bounces middle. Extra, I thought they might be looking for a passive teammate, but going to opt for the long ball instead.
I see the scoreboard is still messed up. Y'all give me just a few moments and I'll get that thing fixed. I don't really know why it's not updating. I'll get that in just a moment. RelatingWave with a nice pass back to Kash. Tries handed an air dribble over to the sidewall. Extra will be there to shut things down.
Oh no. Even when I feel like Extra is going to be caught out, they don't get punished. RelatingWave and Kash, what are you doing? It's right on the goal line. They can't put it home. It's plays like that where I'm just shocked that it can't go through, but I guess I can't really blame Kash and RelatingWave, as they felt like it was guaranteed. They're just trying to put pressure on, thinking it's inevitability, but BDS showing that composure that I'm sure all world champions need to possess on the goal line, and going to keep their narrow lead for now. RelatingWave trying to change that with a slow play into the boost steal. Low 50, but not going to get anything on Seikoo.
BDS holding this 2-1 lead. We finally got the scoreboard well, or corrected. Seikoo's going to put in a third. And I see you guys talking about the sound as well. That is when I tab out. Hopefully we will be all set for the rest of the series. Seikoo, as I said a moment ago, taking a 2-goal lead here. Plenty of time left. Kash and RelatingWave, as I said, were able to mount a comeback both in the series and in Game 7. And RelatingWave, a nice air dribble, or at least an extra touch in the air, will put that thing top left corner.
I'm always a fan of air dribbles because of the options that we talked about in the last series that it opens up. But sometimes it's just as simple as recognizing that, hey, there's no one in that top corner. Maybe just get one extra tap after you bait in that first challenge. And it's really all you need to be able to break down one of the best defenses that we've seen so far. Despite all that, back within one, and we just at halftime in Game 1.
We saw some very flashy plays from Seikoo and Kash in their series yesterday. And I want to give a quick shout to RelatingWave. Some of the best shooting that I have seen in any of these 2v2 tournaments. RelatingWave was putting it everywhere the defense couldn't reach. Had an excellent day yesterday offensively. But will it be enough to take down this BDS squad? Extra over to the sidewall. Will be there for the follow. Puts a shot on target, but Kash will send it away. RelatingWave gonna have to drop back. Recollect. Will he get this reset? Yes, he will. Extra, we'll keep it out for now. Can Kash put one inside the frame? No. Or Seikoo is at least there to send it out to the midfield. RelatingWave, taking his time, understanding. The defense playing patiently. Extra to the backboard. Does he have the double tap? He does, but it's a little bit high. RelatingWave flicks one up high for Kash. Does get his reset. Pops past Seikoo, and Kash does it all himself. Ties us up 3-3.
Oh, Seikoo looking like the Travolta meme over there. They're saying, well, I'll challenge early. Hey, Extra, how about you get my back? Wait, where is my teammate? He's in the scrapyard chasing down the demo. That's how much faith RelatingWave had in his teammate to get that ball over that only defender. All tied up here. Quality game one, as we'd expect no less.
And Taco, yesterday Kash had an absolutely phenomenal performance in the air specifically. He was using the dominance for some of it, and we saw some just incredible flip resets and flicks, post flip reset, and using that dodge to change the trajectory, change the angle of the shot. Kash, I expect him to be dangerous. This BDS team gonna have to keep their eye on him at all times. RelatingWave. Kash wanted the pinch, but RelatingWave's gonna keep this to himself. Now Seikoo may have an opportunity. Kash fills up the shooting lane. Kash with a flick past one. Seikoo quickly there to slow down the transition. Extra actually picks up that midfield boost on spawn. RelatingWave rocking with not much. Kash up quickly. Will he get it past Extra? Yes, he will. Kash coming up big on the offensive side for here, RelatingWave.
That is so brutal. You almost feel like that was the plan all along. RelatingWave just taking it on the sideline, slowly angling toward the sidewall, but they're waiting for the 50 the whole time. It's almost like Seikoo took the bait. They go in full bore, trying to get as much as possible on it, but all it did was just set it up in the middle. Extra kind of left stranded on that far side. Very unfortunate for them, but not like they're out. They just need one more opportunity, and they might just get it here. Extra trying to peel across. They don't get the dish in time. Kash chasing it down. Could this be the end of game one? One more shot. They got to go coast to coast if they're BDS, and Extra has the best possible first touch for that one. Underway, looking for a heavy flick. They set it up for Seikoo. Back post, and it's in as 0-0.
Seikoo and Extra have ice and clutch factor like I have not ever seen before. When they decide they want to win, when they decide they're going to overtime, they're going to make it happen. Semifinal number 2, we're going to start this thing off with OT in game 1. Seikoo baits out the first challenge, beats the second, and Extra's there. BDS steal game number 1.
Oh no, Hoodie. Oh, I can't imagine anything more damaging to the morale than engineering that goal, getting the lead, then losing it in 0 seconds, and then right off the kickoff, just getting beat right over the top and having a slot in from Extra. GG's indeed. A quality first game, and I'm gonna really have to call my doctor after this one if this every game is gonna be like this.
Heart rate gonna be through the roof. I'm hoping we get some more matches like this, or some more games like this the rest of this series. I want to see some high-flying action from Kash. I want to see the outplays, the mind games from the BDS squad. Such disciplined gameplay, such incredible structure and team chemistry from these guys. It was on display yesterday in the latter half of the series, and today they're turning it on here in game number 1.
I mean, one thing that I really haven't seen, that mechanic that we busted out, that crazy flick from Extra. I believe it was Jazer who first tried to popularize that flick. That's so unexpected. The moment they got that, you can see both defenders immediately panic and just really have to play the passive route. I have to predict this shot. Seikoo obviously doing their job, something they were doing all last season, just putting it in when it matters most. And when they get an open net, they're not going to miss it. And when we have these close games like that, that's really what it's going to come down to. How many times is there going to be a chance gone begging?
We'll see if Kash and RelatingWave, as I mentioned a couple times, we'll see if they can bounce back. They have been able to do so, at least in their first series of the event. We'll see what they have in the tank. It does look like, excuse me, it does look like Kash has hopped back into the Dominus. Personally, I'm a fan of that. I love to see his Dominus play. Look at it. Beautiful color scheme as well. Something one of my high school coaches used to say. I played traditional sports. They said, look good, feel good, play good. Right now, Kash is looking good, but is it going to be enough? Extra. The double touch attempt, a bit off target. Start game number 2. RelatingWave fakes high, comes down, collects, puts a high flick on target. Does pull both Seikoo and Extra into the air. Extra with a musty flick will follow it up with a dunk as well. Seikoo's challenge. Met by RelatingWave, who patiently just walks this close to the goal. And Kash with a dominant chip. They're going to take the lead early here in game number 2.
Some of my favorite plays. We talk about how making the defense sweat, but there's nothing more satisfying than setting up a flick, getting a catch, and then just walking it towards them. You see Seikoo kind of panic, just challenge on that near post. It pinches out, and then we see another fake, the change up into the pop over the defenders. They're just flailing at it. EDS looking quite disorganized on that one, but I can't really blame them. Kash trying to put on a little bit of dance, but not able to get past that near post. Extra just sending it all the way, hitting it with every single ounce of that Fennec.
This is what we call a clang. Extra from his own corner, up high on the backboard, or near the backboard elevation. Booms one. And they're going to tie things up with a huge clear. Kash and RelatingWave got to be on their toes at all moments. RelatingWave did grab that midfield boost, and there's your ground double that you wanted. Extra will send it away. It was off target anyways. RelatingWave with an aerial bump attempt in the midfield. Maybe just trying to send a message to the BDS squad.
And at the very least, they're putting the ball in some very weird positions. Even when the ball is a long ball, kind of like that from RelatingWave, they're still making BDS chase it all the way down and get these catches off. And as long as it's interchanged with some slow play, I think it can definitely be effective. First 50 get way out of hands for RelatingWave. Kash trying to use that dominus. You know that those resets can do. Not that time. Extra gets a toe in, and then another one. It's just sitting there in front of the goal. RelatingWave still gets the recovery. Is it enough for Extra? Putting it back. They're flailing in front of the net. Kash has just enough to stay in front of it. Seikoo trying to slow play, trying to keep the ball dangerous. It is still in front of the net. Extra still cannot get it through. Phenomenal defense from the orange side.
Pure class goal line defending from RelatingWave. The man had 4 boosts in the tank and able to keep this thing out of hairy situations left and right. He does it again. This time he tacks a nice clear on the backside of it. Kash following Extra up the backboard, looking for the disruption play. RelatingWave will pull this into his corner. The double touch secures a safe recovery in the corner. Kash, can he get this reset? No. Seikoo with a challenge on the retreat. Extra pulls it up high. Drops it back down low. Kash with good patience. Understands what Seikoo's game plan is. RelatingWave with a shooting opportunity to the backboard. Can he get the double? Leaves it for Kash. Kash sends it wide. Will steal the corner boost. Holds on to possession. Drops it back to his own end. Gonna reset the offense here. Has his dodge. Doesn't use it. At the last moment, will pop it around Seikoo. But Extra there for the next touch. Extra up to the ceiling. Opts to bring it down as well. RelatingWave to try his hand at the aerial gameplay. The reset, the dodge, the dunk! RelatingWave flexing the mechs.
Also flexing the muscles, not only getting a quality contact on this, but then using it to almost side roll into that touch. How intentional that is, I do not know, but I don't put anything past these players. They see in 4 dimensions. They know exactly where they need to be on most of these challenges, and we'll see if it's all for naught, though. That kickoff landed right on Seikoo. Luckily, RelatingWave was taking no chances on that one. Cuts in, be able to cut that one out before it begins. Now try number 2. Seikoo up and over, off the ceiling. RelatingWave pre-jumping that one from the side.
RelatingWave, an incredible read on the game. Just has a great understanding of what his opponent's positions might indicate as far as what their next moves are. RelatingWave, a pass across to Kash. A little bit of an ambitious shot. Probably not going to get much power on it, but Kash just not peeling away, continuing to pressure this ball. Finally gives time for RelatingWave to move in. Kash once again up early. Looks like he did land his reset, but holds it for now. Extra with a nice soft clear from the backboard. RelatingWave just backing it up a little bit. Gonna keep the ball in front of him. Kash, dispossessed. He will send a nice clear across. Extra with a trip up. Should provide Seikoo with some time. He heads for the, opts for the boom to the backboard. Taco, they're gonna have to put something a little bit more creative and effective together. If they want to score, they have less than 30 seconds left. It's Seikoo and Extra down 1.
Yeah, and right now they're just trying to mount another heroic comeback, and maybe Extra can provide it again. I don't know if they have the momentum to get that flick, but they certainly made Kash stretch for it. Another 50 opted for, but Kash, slender Dominus, able to squeeze on through, and now maybe squeeze the life out of this clock as they're flicking it to the corner. They're not going to go for the boost steal. They're going to give space. Will they regret it? Seikoo with time, 0 seconds, past 1, not past the second. Extra reaching for it. They will flick it high for now, but at this point, it's all about, can Kash get it down? They will. We're 1-1 in a series after, again, a tense match right up until the end.
Taco, we may have another series where we have a trend of the pendulum back and forth, back and forth. We'll see how this thing unfolds, but I certainly wouldn't be upset if we head to Game 7.
I would agree. Seems like most of them are kind of destined for that as we're seeing this go back and forth. I will say, even though I was highlighting Seikoo as the offensive threat, really the player that I think is going to cause the most panic in the lobby, Extra putting in the work, 7 shots, also getting almost the same amount of saves as his teammate, and really making sure that they're always on alert. Hence with that really long shot, which is unfortunately their only goal. So weirdly enough, the most ordinary of goals is really their only offensive result, I would say, in game number 2. So going into the rest of this series, I'm interested to see how BDS will slowly adapt. A couple times now, they've just been kind of chipped away at by RelatingWave and Kash.
You bring up a good point there. That's not something that anyone would anticipate from this BDS team, is struggling on the offensive side of things. They did have some shots, but not too many quality opportunities. And as you said, the only thing they were able to actually put in the back of the net was a booming clear where Kash and RelatingWave just stepped a bit too far forward. We'll see if Extra and Seikoo can turn things around here in game number 3. We're all level, 1-1 in the series. If you're just tuning in, this is our second semifinal. Whoever takes this series will move forward and play a Toe and a Chronic in the grand finals. Seikoo playing it slow, baiting in that challenge from Kash. RelatingWave off the sidewall. Does follow up his air dribble. The nice 50-50 challenge. Extra with a shot on target. Right in between the 2 defenders. Extra puts BDS on top early in game number 3.
That's crazy. There was almost no run up to that one. It just like Extra has to go all the way across it and just bombs it through. I think we might have seen a little bit of a bump on defense, but either way, that ball was traveling fast enough that I'm sure if a defender got a bumper to it, they just get demoed by the shot.
Great strike there from Extra. Right away from kickoff. Gonna put one into the orange end, but RelatingWave there for it. Up to the ceiling. Does put a shot on target. Seikoo will defend it for now. Extra in a tough position. Kash not gonna be able to get to this before Extra does. The orange team will keep the offensive press alive. RelatingWave working past 1. Can he get this down into the box? Kash not wanting to cheat too far forwards. They know they need to be careful in case of those big clears that we saw. We do get a reset here. Or maybe not. Either that or Kash opt not to use it. RelatingWave. We'll grab that corner boost, provide a challenge. Seikoo with some space to work with. Brings it down low. Not able to get that secondary touch, nor the bump. RelatingWave in a 2v1 situation. His first touch not ideal either. A little bit more sloppy here in game number 3.
Yeah, the setups aren't as crisp, but I think that's also just because neither team has been really able to get the amount of boost that they want. If you want to go for an air dribble, you can start something off, but really unless you start entering into that 60-70 boost range inside the opponent's half, it's really hard to carry that into a dangerous position. So at this point, they're waiting for 50s, but at that point, if the other team isn't obliging your request, more or less, you're kind of just wasting possession, throwing it back and forth. I think we're seeing both teams try to bait teams into a certain challenge, but neither of them are able to actually bite down on that hook. Extra going for yet another double tap. They haven't found it yet, and that one will add to the tally. Kash on the counter. It is wide open. Can they set it up? That's a flawless pass, and that finish is there to boot.
That pass was incredible. This was not easy to work with. Kash, somehow the most awkward bounce that you could get off the backboard. He handles it well, pops it high in a shootable area for RelatingWave, and I complimented his striking yesterday. He's going to continue that today. RelatingWave ties us up 1-1, just inside 3 minutes left to play.
See RelatingWave just try to keep extra honest. He saw him get off the wall. Luckily, Seikoo had more than enough boots for the both of the BDS duo. As we'll see, kind of weave and bob, but staggered defense still working pretty well. It's something we actually saw in our first matchup do really very well with Tho and Mike Boy. Problem is that it always can be unraveled very quickly, as we see the long shot from Seikoo. It's always worth a shot. Extra, finally getting one on target, but even then, denied by, as opposed to this game mode, the third defender, the crossbar.
Sometimes the crossbar is the best defender on the pitch. Extra's gonna take his turn, pops it to the backboard. No opportunity presents itself. Kash almost caught off guard. RelatingWave, the big demo. Don't know if Kash can be able to get this on target in time. Slows it down, brings it down to the ground. Puts a decent shot on target. At the very least, he's rewarded with the corner boost. RelatingWave back to the skies. Extra scales the backboard. RelatingWave, once again, showing off the flip reset mechanics. Goes up high, lands it quickly, threatens it, threatens it. Extra not sure when to commit, but RelatingWave puts it bottom left. 2-1 lead for RelatingWave and Kash.
And not only that, but you're able to see them come across from right to left. Wave is waiting for that touch, but it's equidistant from both defenders, which makes the commitment hard to know who immediately does go, and results in enough time that, honestly, if you give any pro-level player that much space in the air, usually you're going to be able to put it in the back of your net. Even still, Wave is just not leaving this alone, just bullying this corner with all these challenges. Finally, they will have to relinquish possession, and that means Seikoo has a chance to do something with it. The pinch down, no pancake, and actually going to turn around and go right back to defense, fueled up.
It's well played by Extra. This is one of the things that we see a lot in 2v2s. We get so zoned in on trying to capitalize every single opportunity we get offensively. That's when we open up that back door for counterattacks. Extra showing some intelligence there, understanding. Doesn't have to go full send on every opportunity. It's going to keep the scoreline at 2-1 for now.
Ooh.
Well, is that a little bit of a caster curse? RelatingWave is going to put in a third.
That is just pure speed by Wave, completing the hat trick on 4 shots. But you even see Extra almost feeling like they have more than enough time. You see them lean back. They want to touch it to the sideline, get that boost, be able to play it back, but they just get completely whooped in the foot race. I don't think they really anticipated that, and that's what sometimes we mentioned, that Seikoo full send behavior. That can work out so well in your favor if the defense is really anticipating that you're going to back off and try to defend against their ensuing counter.
Once again, RelatingWave there for the shot, and that comes on the back end. I know it's been a moment, but this is all due to the setup of the kickoff. Kash and RelatingWave, the fake. It's going to provide RelatingWave with the first free touch. Pops it over to Kash. Rolls that thing up the sidewall. Plenty of space to work with. Gets a nice 50-50 down, and RelatingWave is there for the finish. 4-1 lead. Final 30 seconds. Kash and RelatingWave poised to take game number 3.
Right now, I would say in any other game mode, this, or rather standard, this might be a time where you start to wrap it up, but 2s, you can always get some quick goals. Problem is, these high touches from the defense, from that long dominance hitbox, you're going to be having a lot of time ticked off, and right now it looks like game number 2 belongs to Kash and Wave. They're playing spectacularly. They're going to have to emulate that a couple more times, though, as we see. BDS always has a way to invent some goals. They just invented them far too late here. Seikoo will try to keep this one up just for one more opportunity, but either way, they're all tied up here in this series, and yet again, we're getting into quite a lovely spell of play as Kash will finally get a goal on the board.
He's just helping his friends pad some stats here. Gonna give Kash one more for the road. Kash and RelatingWave, they go up 2-1 in the series.
And it's always be able to make sure getting those wins in, making sure that you're always able to answer back with some ferocity. And I think it's just very unusual when you see games like this open up. I think it's inevitable in ones and twos because there's going to be some momentum that really carries through. You don't have that structure of players always being able to cover for you. But especially right now, this is a very unusual game, particularly because game one was neck and neck. BDS was able to march on back. And then we see this game where it just really just falls apart for them. Wave just found the way to unlock. They were combining that physical play. They were going in with some change up, even getting a lot of nice mechanical plays. It's really, they're bringing the entire skill set, I would say, under their arsenal to fruition.
Taco, BDS is going to be in trouble if RelatingWave continues to be this effective offensively. Kash, in the first series, was really what Amat and Khaled had to watch out for offensively. Very creative, very quick. But if RelatingWave is providing that type of offensive prowess as well, BDS is certainly going to have their hands full for the remainder of this series. We are a 2-1 score line. One more time, if you're just tuning in, this is a semifinal. The winner of this moves forward into the grand final to take on 8thou and Achronic. Game number 4.
I think this is also a fun lesson for a lot of people in chat. I see the arguments going back and forth about which players are surprising or which players are so good, but this is also another thing to keep in mind is that even if a team in 3v3, maybe you recognize those players and they didn't have the best split, or you're looking at them and you're saying, I don't know how I feel about that one coming into this one. You can't really rely on 3v3 prowess in this game mode. There's some equivalent lessons, but some players are just twos demons in the ranked lobby. You can see that with Wave and Kash continuing to put on some pressure. Wave, or Extra rather, busting out that crazy flick, and it's gonna force the craziest of own goals.
Yesterday, Kash had an own goal ceiling pinch. Today, Kash has a tight angle redirect double touch own goal. I'm telling you right now, like I said yesterday, throw the black and white filter on that, put it in the montage. Kash is clipping on both ends of the field.
Just absolute filth from his, teammate in the montage. The only black and white clip, but I'm sure the editor can make it work. Either way, Kash trying to redeem himself. No double tap and a flawless setup to RelatingWave for 1-1.
RelatingWave has been so impressive with his striking, his shooting, his accuracy, the power. He does exactly what he needs to do. RelatingWave puts one in, ties us up once again. 4:13 left to play. Lots of gameplay. Extra in a tough position. No boost left to work with, and RelatingWave once again, a nice strike straight away from kickoff. It's going to reclaim that lead and go 2-1.
Yeah, and this seems like an ordinary shot, but as you watch this, Extra rotating back to goal, because obviously they need to cover that ensuing shot, but as soon as Wave looks at that, they shoot it around the side. You see Extra have to slowly turn almost 180 to get that save off, and they just cannot. It's that slight difference between just impulsively firing a shot on target and placing it in a position that's going to make it as awkward as possible that makes all the difference there.
It's certainly on display. No secret that RelatingWave is meticulously planning his shot placement. Kash up to the ceiling, looking to put a narrow angle down and in. RelatingWave will send one across the field, a back pass to Kash to the corner. Can he get the slight touch on it? He doesn't, but he will have Seikoo dancing around on the goal line. Extra with a nice touch around Kash. Can RelatingWave get back to it? Yes, he can. He keeps it out for now, but only for a moment. Extra ties us up 2-2.
Points for effort. Problem is the only real points are what's going on the scoreboard. Extra just beating out a player, and that is always the risk when you are challenging off that sidewall. It's so hard to know, is a player going to keep it on the side? Are they just going to throw it forward? Or they throw it into the corner? And sometimes you just have to guess, and I think that one, they didn't pass that quiz side of Wave and Kash, but hold on, might not matter. Wave had a flick, but it got just a little bit off them, trying to slowly roll off their bumper. Extra trying to leave it for their teammate as they've gotten another beat off, and Seikoo able to get it past the defender, but not past the bar.
Seen a couple opportunities here from the BDS side. A little bit more effective offense than we were seeing in earlier games. RelatingWave, slow air dribble. there for the follow-up challenge. RelatingWave grabs that corner boost as well, sends a pass out to Kash to the backboard. Can he get the double touch down and in? Kash! The pancake smash finally forces it in.
I don't even know if we can count this for the taps it got. That's more or less a pancake. I'm gonna say that's the septuple tap into the dunk. Cash money indeed, getting that one through right before halftime. What a way to redeem yourself.
Absolutely incredible. He actually attempted that same, or at least a similar shot yesterday. Wasn't able to get it underneath the crossbar. This time, finds some success with it. Seikoo, an awkward angle shot, does put it top right corner. RelatingWave keeps it out. Kash with the ground pinch. Does require a save from Extra. A favorable bounce. Seikoo and Extra, a little bit of freestyle looking attempt there. Extra forcing the flick out of Kash. Seikoo will send it into the corner. Extra picks up the boost. Seikoo, not the greatest touch. Will remain in a safe location for now. Extra with a clear out to the midfield. It's going to provide Kash with a free opportunity. He pops up high. Does get his reset. Tries the musty flick, but it's nowhere near the target. RelatingWave lurking at the midfield will keep the offensive press alive. Now Kash going to try his turn. The sidewall shut down by Extra. BDS defense holding strong. I don't want to see them break out. Provide an opportunity to score. Extra with the air dribble bump attempt. Avoided by RelatingWave. Kash there to pick it up. Excuse me.
And we are seeing actually a lot of BDS pressure that's just going to get thrown away. As a couple times leading up to this dribble, they've kind of just thrown the ball forward, but up until Seikoo has a dribble, nothing saved. Great save by Wave. Kash is going to equal to it with the in and out on the counter. Wave, far too hard of a touch, but it doesn't really matter because Seikoo didn't have it in the tank. A brilliant counterattack again, started with that fantastic goal line defense.
Incredible stuff there from Kash. Not only was it a save, but the in and out save allowed him to provide a little bit of a run forward for his teammate on the counterattack. And Wave, while he was on low boost, he's still able to accelerate the play quick enough. Seikoo will have to make the save on RelatingWave's ceiling shot. Wave, midfield boost spawns at the perfect time. On his backboard. Kash with the beat. It's not on target, but Wave should be here as long as he can read the bounce. 5-2. RelatingWave and Kash have a commanding lead.
And you were talking about Wave is shooting so well throughout this tournament. And I think this game can also wind in nearly 60% from the field on this game number 4. And it's looking so incredibly pretty from him. It's pretty much if you give them a shot, you are above chance level seeing it go in the back of their net. And Kash is certainly the good provider. Obviously, they got the highlight goal, I would say, of this entire series. But beyond that, they've been a great facilitator for a lot of plays, as well as using every single bit of that dominance hitbox to its full extent. Good goal line save yet again, and Wave looks like they can capitalize it on it here. BDS, they just do not have the answer down the stretch of this game number 4.
RelatingWave, we want to keep saying his name. He's played so well throughout this tournament. Offensively, defensively, positionally, decision-making. RelatingWave just going to run this clock out, send the ball around. BDS on their final life. Kash and RelatingWave move forward to match point. One step closer to the grand finals.
And it's quite the pretty display that they're putting up. It's the combination of really everything that you love 2v2 for. For example, 1,000 points on the scoreboard from RelatingWave, but I'm not surprised. 4 goals, 4 saves, and Kash might have hit the prettiest own goal that we might see today, but it doesn't really matter in the end because it's just too much offense to be contained. At this point, it's surprising to see BDS, a team known for how composed they can be, just kind of throwing the ball away. They're just so overwhelmed, it seems, by the Wave Kash pressure.
One thing that we do have to keep note of is yesterday, Seikoo and Extra went down 3-0. And they had no issues bringing that series back. So if there is a team that I think can certainly mount a comeback from a 3-1 deficit in the series, it is the team of Extra and Seikoo. They're going to have their work cut out for them. Kash and RelatingWave look incredible. I'm excited, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, Taco, but I'm excited because get a sneak peek at a couple of RLCS 22-23 rosters. Get to see the chemistry between Kash and RelatingWave. And man, it looks like they're going to be doing quite well this next season.
Yeah, particularly because NA had some roster royale. Moist and ARG were able to come across the pond and play in there, but no, it's not the same when you're seeing them on differential ping. But now when you're seeing these players in their domain, in the high ping or in the low ping lobbies, and putting in some high skill plays, it's a lovely treat to see. And same with BDS, return to scoring form, a brutal fake from Seikoo.
Just outsmarted, outplayed. Extra with the bump to remove one of the defenders. Seikoo understanding the body language of the second defender, the urgency on display. Slow play with Seikoo provides him with a free net to shoot at. They will take the lead early here in game number 5. Kash, slight touch, will keep Extra honest. Eventually rolls it out to the side, will pick up his corner boost. Seikoo, big dunk, will send it across that orange back line. RelatingWave with a big clear, looking for Kash. Can he find the shot? Yes, he can. Seikoo will keep it out. RelatingWave, relenting pressure. Extra pops one up to the wall. Seikoo up. Can he find the slot? Yes, he can. Crossbar and down. Seikoo extends the lead to 2.
My goodness, caught every single bit of this one, but you can't ask for a much better setup from Extra. We talked about them freestyling before. That was an MK pass right into the Seikoo Jazer, being able to slap that one home. And even though we've seen the best goal line defense I've seen in a minute from Kash and Wave, there's very little you can really do to stop that.
They do have 4 minutes left in this game. And we've seen some fantastic offense from this RelatingWave and Kash duo. Plenty of time left. We'll see what they have up their sleeve. Kash gonna take this one back, take his time. Pulls one up high off the side wall. Seikoo with the pre-jump will keep it out of the net. Extra with the pickup. Seeing if he can poke one past RelatingWave, but RelatingWave with plenty of boost in the tank will keep it out. Follow up. Kash will be there to pick it up quickly. Kash to the backboard. Can he get the dunk? No. Extra sends it out. And RelatingWave backs off. Seikoo with a big boom. He finds Extra, who's pre-jumped, but RelatingWave sniffs it out. Is that on target? It isn't. Seikoo with a touch will pop it safely into the corner.
Ooh, I like that setup from Kash, and one thing that I'm also liking from Kash is a couple times you'll see them just go left to right and get a touch. It goes nowhere. It's not a shot. It's just up in the air, and it feels like they're just mistouching it, but all it does is make BDS panic. They have no idea what to expect. I didn't expect the double flip reset coming out. It doesn't go on target, but it keeps possession. Wave with a pinch on the near post, not past Extra. Kash, try number 2. Delayed flick, pass 1. Tries to go over top Seikoo, but learn their lesson. They know what Kash can provide. Problem is, Wave is only providing a giveaway. Extra on the come through, but can't get the counterattack to go. Seikoo try number 2. Slow play, trying to win the 50. Kash just way too large for that.
Kash putting a big hitbox up. Now trying to sneak one in. Maybe catch Extra sleeping. RelatingWave with the aggressive challenge. Kash has to make a touch here. He does so. Puts it to the side. Seikoo will be there. RelatingWave in a tough position here. Can Extra get a shot on target? He does. Not much power on the strike. Kash with that dominance. Not going to get much power on that flick, but he will provide RelatingWave with a secondary opportunity. Extra with possession. Does get his boost stolen out of the corner. Kash, 50-50 pops high, drops straight down. This time, I think they caught RelatingWave just a bit too far forward. Extra gonna put a 3rd on the board for Team BDS.
It's a very unfortunate 50, and it's not rolling across, it's not rolling back to the corner, it's not gonna just loft, it's just going to rocket straight to the ceiling and straight on down. Of course, Extra is gonna have that field vision. They know that RelatingWave is that far forward. It's going to be a very tough read if they're not up immediately. Right now, it seems like BDS has all the answers. Problem is, they can't answer back when you're not on the field. Off the kickoff, I'm just going to call that the delayed Spanish.
Relating Wave takes care of one. Kash, just for good measure, takes... Oh, actually, Kash gets demoed. Excuse me. I thought he ended up demoing Seikoo. Either way, Relating Wave, plenty of time to pop one in. 1:28 left. This is definitely feasible. But Kash and Relating Wave are going to have to create some good opportunities, preferably pretty soon, to give themselves plenty of time for the second. Seikoo, a boom to the backboard. Kash not able to read it. Seikoo's going to put in a fourth, and that's got to be frustrating.
It's got to be frustrating, but when you're in 2v2, you got to create your own chances. A hit like that from Seikoo is incredibly tough because if you're not already on the backboard, you have to make the hardest read in the game, in my personal opinion. That waterfall down, it could go straight down, could bounce out just barely, and I can't Kash at the certain point just has to guess and try to widen up their hitbox to get anything on it. But that one, I think that might be something that might put this game a little bit out of reach. The offense hasn't been as sharp from the orange side this game, and I think that's due to BDS just kind of tightening everything up. You had mentioned they have that clutch factor. They did it last series, and it's like they're trying to do it yet again.
Hold on now. Kash going to put one in. Cut that lead down to 2. They give themselves 54 seconds. A nice responding boom here from Relating Wave. Seikoo looking to go for the in and out save. Just didn't time it as well as he needed to. Inside the final 60 seconds, 2-goal deficit. Seikoo with the fake kickoff. Kash doesn't notice it in time, ends up turning over possession. Relating Wave. Wait a second, can he get this shot? No. Extra with a quick recovery will keep things at 2-4 for now. Seikoo threatening a challenge. Extra with a confusing path back towards the ball. Keeps the opponents on their toes. Relating Wave gonna have to make some magic happen all by himself. He wants a chance to score one here. With 23 seconds left, chance of this comeback is dwindling quickly.
Yeah, but anything can happen if you get one touch of magic. That's not going to be it. Extra was waiting for that over the top. So he waited for Seikoo to force that out on the underneath challenge. Now, just somewhat freestyling or whatever Extra just did there. Either way, that's burning all the clock down. That is going to be a victory for the BDS duo, bringing it back one more game and looking to complete it, take us to an inevitable, it seems like, Game 7, but I suppose we'll find out in our next 5 minutes.
Team BDS. They certainly will not go quietly.
I think a lot of times when we're seeing these games really start to unfurl, you're seeing the shots go down, but Seikoo really focusing up on defense. And it's not by parking the bus. It's making sure that they have the angles. Make sure you get the pads, don't rotate too wide, and also get that staggered defense. You see a couple times, even on that last one, where Relating Wave needed that goal to come through. You have Extra on backboard. You have the player from the ground challenging so that the flip is almost forced to go up and over, where Extra can just collect the possession. That all comes through just hours and hours of playing with each other, knowing what options play better, and I think BDS is slowly starting to implement them. I think Kash and Wave need to get back to that kind of random variety of things so that they can, at least, I would say, pose more of a threat, because this game looked very composed from BDS despite the close scoreline.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. That Team BDS squad, twos, threes, whatever it is, I think they thrive when there is structure in the game. And so bringing a little bit of creativity or unpredictability for Relating Wave and Kash may be the strategy that they need to deploy here if they want to go ahead and put away Extra and Seikoo before we get on game number 7. 5 minutes on the clock. Relating Wave and Kash still on match point. Extra, a long shot. Dealt with well by Relating Wave. Kash with the sidewall double touch. Does put it on target, but Seikoo will send it safely into the corner. Extra with control, does land his reset. Holds on to it, Relating Wave. Here for the challenge. Wait a second. Awkward read. Provides Kash a shooting opportunity. Can't get it inside the frame.
That's a little tough at times, but one thing I do really want to call attention to in the chat is that they can't see it, but the banter between these players in this in-game lobby right now. Extra, much like a racehorse, says they have to go to the restroom right now. So maybe it's like a racehorse in that if you keep them penned up don't go to the bathroom before the race. They just run that much faster. Maybe that's going to be the method here. Certainly taking their time, though, with the series in general as we're going on to 6. But at least for right now, I think this is going to be somewhat of a reset game. We've actually seen already in the first minute, no clear signs of dominance, just a lot of midfield challenges, trying to just see what's going to happen first. That boost steal into that close angle, Wave getting the really aggressive play in that he's not left the blue Av, just ball chasing all the way around.
I love seeing that from a RelatingWave. I think that when he increases his aggression as well, it's something that may open up some extra opportunities for Kash. Seikoo will land his reset, comes down to the ground to catch. No shot following. Kash, there to snuff out the touch before Extra can make one. Hits one up high. Extra will catch. RelatingWave calls the bluff. Pushes in quickly. He's going to snipe one top left.
I was going to say good quality 50, but that wasn't even a 50. Extra just did not time that correctly, and it's a good instinctual play. I think that a lot of players are like that in front of net. They have that predator instinct to understand that defender's not getting back that in time. I need to throw myself into that challenge and hope for the best. That will get them one back, but then that double on the kickoff, getting cheated up a little bit too much, will cost them their lead very quickly.
That's that. We've talked about it a couple times, that super aggressive cheat. It can work out heavily in your favor, but it can work out heavily in the opponent's favor as well. We're all level once again, 1-1. Just over 3 minutes left to play in game number 6. Extra, full tank of boost from the sidewall. The musty flick, no contact. RelatingWave will keep it safely out of the net. Kash, up high, does he have the dodge? He doesn't need it. Kash is gonna carry it into the top right corner of the net.
And we've seen this from Kash a lot. You said you love him in the Dominus, and I think this is why. Being able to get that flip reset, Seikoo delays, waiting for it, and then just a simple little carry up and over the top. Looks so pretty. It makes it look so easy as well.
Kash and RelatingWave reclaim that lead. Lots of time left for them to continue to defend. Extra! The flip reset, he continues to air dribble afterwards, almost gets the dunk on the goal line. The defense will keep it out for now. RelatingWave is going to try his hand in the skies. Up high. Extra will clear it away. Kash backs off to play defense. Extra with just a power shot. Top right corner. Too far for Kash to reach.
And when you do get these fake challenges, it's really all predicated on the idea that you have the coverage. But the problem is, if the shot is accurate enough, it doesn't really matter. You can cover most of the options, but not all of them. Good job to recognize that the defender is maybe giving them a little bit too much, or maybe too little respect on that shot. Being able to slot that to the far side, all tied up right at halftime. We said it was a slow start. We're really starting to see things pick up here. Seikoo getting the recovery, getting the touch in, but they can't wrap around it. Able to pull Kash out. Be able to angle that one into the back post as we see Wave just trying to carry that forward. A no 50, takes one out, and maybe Kash can send one deep. Extra recognizes the danger just in time, turns around and gets another save.
Extra, not much boost, but he will clear one away. Should buy him a little bit of time to pick up some pads. Seikoo there for the pickup in the corner. RelatingWave, a nice first touch. Is going to allow him to pull that up into an air dribble. Extra actually misses that corner boost. Could be a fatal mistake. Seikoo there for the first save. Kash there for the follow-up. Once again, Kash and RelatingWave take the lead.
And this is actually what I was applauding them for earlier, getting the first send to be able to force out the shot and Seikoo on the backboard. But the shot was so quick that I don't think Seikoo actually anticipated that. You saw them almost flip into the goal to keep it outside the goal line. But then, obviously, if all of your resources, both in boost and in car, are expended, it's just going to be an easy putback. And I think Wave and Kash finding that groove again, just being able to force out these mistakes, these close seams through which they can fit a shot.
We see a different approach on the kickoff from RelatingWave and Kash this time. RelatingWave choosing to hang back deep instead of the aggressive cheat forwards. And while it may not have provided them with a possession, it will ensure that they don't give up a freebie directly following kickoff. RelatingWave with a little bit of space, not much boost to work with. Will send a flick on target. Extra, not the greatest first touch, but Seikoo there to bail him out. Extra with a high flick. Will secure that midfield boost. Seikoo with a touch to the backboard. Deflected away by RelatingWave. Kash picks up his corner, but gets demoed immediately. extra. Taking his time, recognizing the space. A pretty dribble. Not sure how effective it was at keeping the defense on their toes. As Kash will clear one towards extra. A big dunk. This actually goes towards the net. A little bit high. Seikoo's able to keep it out for now. Taco inside the final 30 seconds. RelatingWave and Kash still holding on to that 1-goal lead.
See BDS really trying to force something through, but even then, I don't think Kash and Wave are in a position in which they're willing to bite. They know they have the lead. They know BDS has to make something happen. So all these fake challenges, all of these pre-flips are going to mean little. They can't beat these players on these 1v1s. Seikoo takes that one, not past Wave. It's to the